Hi guys. Today I'm going to do topic 12, lesson 1. Our learning target is to relate fractions to decimals. I'd like to do the shared parts with you today. So I'm actually using the interactive student edition, which you have access to on your Pearson account. You can see my YouTube video on how to log into your Pearson account for some help with that. So I'm on the page that is Solve and Share. It says, according to the survey, 7 out of 10 pet owners have a dog. Use a drawing to show this relationship. Solve this problem any way you choose. So since I'm using the interactive student edition, I'm actually going to use some of the tools that come with it. You have these on your computer too. So I come over to the side and here are my interactive tools. I just need to draw 10 pet owners, so I'll use some sort of symbol. When I go to the stamper, I can pick symbols. I can choose dots in either red or yellow. I can choose counters, little unit cubes. Well, that's not really what I need at all. So I won't use that one. I'll use the stamps, and I'll just use some red stamps to represent my 10 pet owners. So it says here we have 10 pet owners. So I'll make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you were on your computer, you might have to actually click your mouse 10 times to make the 10 pet owners, okay? So now that I'm done with my stamper here, oh goodness, I'm gonna have to go back to my pen. And I need to indicate that 7 of my pet owners have a dog, so let's count that out. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm gonna circle 7 of my pet owners. So I've drawn my relationship. So these are the ones that don't have pets. So maybe I'll circle those but in a different color. So these are the guys who have pets, and then these are the guys who don't have pets. It's like a fraction. So it looks like out of 10, 7/10 have pets. And then let's scroll down and see the question at the bottom so we can answer that. They always ask you to look back and answer something that's part of the question above. So how many pet owners do not have a dog? Well, I kind of have 2 choices. I can just scroll right back up here and look at the ones up here that weren't circled, or I could calculate it. I could say if I have 10 out of 10, that 10 out of 10 owners altogether. If I subtract the 7 owners that had dogs, then however many are left over would be my non-dog owning people. So when I'm subtracting, whatever's on the bottom remains my denominator, and then I just have to subtract my numerators across the top. So 3/10 of my owners, gotta have units, right, do not have pets. So next I'd like to jump over to our next page. You can use these arrows on your student edition to get to the different pages. Okay, the video in Pearson goes with this problem, so I won't do that there, but I will do the convince me with you today. So it says, convince me, would the decimal models for 6/10 and 60/100 be the same or different? Use the grids to explain. So on this grid I have to show 6/10. Well, this is 100 little blocks. If I want to show tenths, I have to use rows. Each row has 10 in it, but there are 10 columns or 10 rows altogether. So I think I'll use the columns. So what I'll do is I'll show, here's one column, that's 1/10, 2/10, whoopsies, 3/10, 4/10, I think that's 6/10. There we go. I think I got all my 6/10 filled in. So I have to have 6 of the 10 columns filled in, making 6/10. But on this one, they want us to show 60/100. Well, it's already broken into 100 little squares. So I just have to color in 60 of these little squares. Wow, this could take a while. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to count them out by 10. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. That means all of these, that's 60 squares, and I could just color it in a little more quickly. So if I colored them in 6 columns of 10, or if I filled them in 60 little hundredth cubes, they're going to be exactly the same size. So I'll put the equal sign right here. Okay, so now I'm going to jump over to my next page. Another example, that's something you can read on your own there. Let's go down to guided practice, and we'll do the guided together with me guiding you. So number 1 says, do you understand? How could you use grids to represent $4.71? It doesn't say to draw it, it just says how. This is one of those where we have to use our sentences to give a mathy answer. So grids, each whole grid would be 1 whole, but we have 4 whole dollars. So we would have to use 100 grids full 100 grids to show ones, or in this case $1. So I don't have enough room here. You're going to have to add on for me. But I can use 4 of those filled in grids to show my $4. I could shade in 7 tenth strips or 10 rods to make my 70 cents. And I could shade in 1 tiny 100th unit to show my 1 cent or my 1 penny. So you'll have to add on there. Now it says, do you know how? Write a decimal and a fraction for the part of the grid that's shaded. Great. Anytime we're looking at decimals or fractions, we have to know how many parts in a whole. Well, it looks like here we have 10 parts in a whole. That means we have tenths here. So I already know the bottom of my fraction is going to be tenths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like 5 out of the 10 are shaded. This is the fraction 5 tenths. But it also wants me to write a decimal. Well, anytime my denominator is tenths, I just have to go to the tenths. I just have to go to the tenths place. Let me move this guy over. And in the tenths place, I will put my 5. Remember, it's in the tenths place already. How many ones do I have? Well, I don't have any. So my ones place is just 0. 0, the decimal stands for and. 5 tenths, 0 and 5 tenths, and here's my 5 tenths as a fraction. Okay, give the independent practice a try, guys. I know you'll be great.